I've been to New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. What a game we have for you here. The first meeting of the year between two of the NFL's most hostile divisional rivals. This matchup always among the most anticipated games of the regular season. It's the Eagles going up against the Redskins. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up. And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And they'll run it here. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Now they'll throw with Breeze. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. He's got time. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Bradford on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 52 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help in run support. He's going to arrive and in a bad mood.
Second down, goal to go from the 6. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. On 3rd and short, the fullback DeMarco. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. So the folks here in the stands this afternoon, they're happy about that one. Their guys get the early advantage after the opening drive field goal.
And they should be happy. Their guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them hope that good things are in store here today.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there. The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And left side here, it's Graham. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a handoff here to his running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. He's going to rifle one deep. And this is caught. These guys told us, these guys being the coaches, they wanted to really stretch the field, get the ball down deep. They were able to do that here.
And you know when you stretch the field, you often leave guys in one-on-one situations, and that allows your better athletes to go up and get the football. I love the preparation that they put into this. They made it a priority, and they got what they expected.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Now the extra point. He's got it, and they'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon. And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Here we go. Blue 49.
Second down, Bradford. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
To throw, Bradford gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A little tough on the secondary there. In zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They'll send Beckham alone to the left side.
Here we go now. Green 90.
Throwing again. Bradford on 2nd and 10. Going to drop this off to McCoy. Complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop.
Green 30. Black 58 round. Black 58 round.
On third down, Bradford. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Blue 45.
On fourth down, they do snap it. Bradford. And he comes back with one complete. That one good for 14 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
McCoy. LaShawn McCoy off to the races. Touchdown, Washington. LaShawn McCoy, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are going to retake the lead.
Well, pardon me, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Breeze on the bootleg. Flush to his right. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
No move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. So here we go on 4th down with Breeze. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give him 8 on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now they'll run it on the toss. So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Easy. Like 50, like kill.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed.
And long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their...
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Here comes the D swarming to the line.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Following the interception, Bradford. Over the middle to Beckham. And he's brought down. A good pickup there at 20 yards. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Green 90. Green 90.
Bradford now to throw on first down. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Brian Arakpo. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He hops over him.
That's why you stretch.
Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. And quickly, they get to the line. Brees going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he will find his man on the outside. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball.
Indeed, picking up the first. One receiver left, 2 to the right. Brees now on 1st down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So this brings up a 2nd and 2. Now Brees throwing on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Brees looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So 4th down, John Fox will turn it over to his field goal unit. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't let any offense at all.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll come out in the pistol. 2nd down, Bradford. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
On 1st down, Brees. This will be caught at the 2. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver in the final seconds of the first half. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and they forced an incompletion.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Final play of the half. Bradford. It's caught by OBJ. And he'll be taken down. But now my apologies, Larry. I wanted to hear the report. Somebody's in a hurry. So we're going to get him right to quarter number 3. And he'll take it out of the side of the end zone. And they'll get it at the 25. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Bradford now from the 50, surveying the field. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on third. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And they're able to up the lead by one more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Here we go now. Green.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Caught left side. It's Beckham. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Here we go.
Now Bradford on second down. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass.
Ready. Blue 45.
Now a second down throw for Bradford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Eagles take possession. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Breeze to throw on second down. Finding time. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Cut in left. Cut in left. 3 down. 3 down. Here we go.
Throwing again. Bradford on 2nd and 10. Going to drop this off to McCoy. Complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And they get 28 yards on that one. And that leads to a Washington first down. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Bradford, boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive. It just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Blue 45. Blue 45.
On second down, Bradford again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. And that is incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. Throwing, Bradford. Being chased out left. Now a hit, and the ball comes out. Bradford has lost it. They find some open field here. Does the big boy have the juice? The 30, the 20, 10, and he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. First and 10, Bradford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn, and that'll bring up second down.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. A second down throw for Bradford. Caught left side, it's Beckham. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On fourth down, they do snap it. Bradford, a hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Breeze now on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield and almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Now Breeze. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this third quarter. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. 2nd down, Bradford. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you? It's
a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Again, it's Bradford. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and it's 3rd and short.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's ball, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
3rd and short yardage. Bradford gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 1st down, Washington. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Left, left. Here we go, left. Green, 90. Back, 58, right. Here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
To throw is Bradford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And fourth down coming up. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
Ready. Here we go. Check 26, check 26.
They go play action here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to air one out. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Shreds the tackle. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Breeze on the bootleg. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Breeze to throw for it on 4th. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Give him 9 on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, second down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. They can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. John Fox, a longtime NFL coach. He's addressed the situation and said, we're going on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Breeze. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue.
He's got it at the 15. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. And his kick is right through. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
He's got time. He'll rifle this one deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Their dangerous wide receiver, 70 yards. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a second down throw for Bradford, surveying the field. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. Second down here after the incomplete pass. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. And a give this time to the tailback. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards, a good run there, and now second and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Breeze is looking to throw. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely...